Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm continuing my Venus through the houses series in Synastry. Today we're going to talk about what it means to have your Venus falling into someone's first house in the Synastry overlay or vice versa. So this one really brings out the beauty in the house person, where the Venus person sees the house person as their ideal or as this thing of beauty, this object of desire or of value. And the house person can feel really physically attractive, beautiful, valued, loved. It can be a really strong overlay when we have Venus coming into the first house, because we have Venus, what we love and what we value and what we find attractive and pleasurable, coming into someone's first house of self, which is their identity, how they project themselves outward into the world, and how they physically appear. So this is a very physical aspect as well when we have first house overlays of, especially Venus or Mars. The people are quite physically attracted to each other. When you see this overlay, you can definitely ensure there is a physical compatibility of some kind, at least, and you have to look at the rest of everything, because this is one of those ones, sometimes Venus in the first, Venus in the fifth, like, we can be so physically attracted that we can overlook other things that maybe we actually aren't compatible. So this is something to look out for with this one, is that it's actually quite powerful in the Venus person being wildly attracted to the house person, and then the house person getting a huge ego boost and feeling like they're just, the hottest thing ever, which feels good to most people. The downside of this, and this depends on the whole charts as well of this, like what's going on with the aspects and everything in the Synastry chart, but on one hand of this, sometimes the house person can feel like an object, or feel like the Venus person really just likes them because of their body, or because of their appearance, or because of like making them look good. It's so it can be a more superficial kind of overlay where the Venus person sees the house person as someone that they want to show off. They like it. It's kind of like the trophy wife or the trophy husband overlay when we have Venus in the first house. And there's other indicators of that kind of relationship too. And some people might really feel comfortable with that and really enjoy that. Whereas others, may start to feel over time, if we're lacking in some other compatibility there, that, maybe this attraction that we feel is not like soul deep and like intimate. It's more of like, hey, look at this extremely physically attractive person that I have found to love me, and I want to show the world this. And the house person can start to feel like, well, if I was ugly, would you like me? Or like it can feel like that. So that's an interesting manifestation of it. But that's probably the only potential negative manifestation, and it doesn't actually always happen like that either, because you have to look at the whole chart. Like, what if the Venus is conjunct with someone's moon in the first house or something? Then we have a very deeply emotionally intimate bond, right? So you have to look at all of that. And that's like the worst of this. So this is a good overlay. I mean, Venus, when we're talking about Venus coming into the houses in Synastry, there's not really a bad place for Venus to come in, right? Like, Venus is the, planet of pleasure and love and attraction, and wherever it falls, it benefits to that house. It's kind of like Jupiter, right? Like, when Venus or Jupiter activates a house, I mean, there's really there's not a bad house for it to activate. There's no good or bad in astrology regardless, but specifically with Venus does tend to just bless whatever house it goes in. So to have someone's Venus blessing your first house, you're going to get a confidence boost from this overlay. You're going to feel really attractive. You're going to feel like the object of their desire. And also it is mutual too. Like the house person feels like the Venus person loves in such a way that it's very natural for them to communicate. It's very natural for them to enjoy pleasurable things together, enjoy music together, go shopping together. That's like a brilliant manifestation of this. One person takes the other person shopping and like really loves to see them trying on all these clothes. So they both can feel that they're with someone that they perceive as very physically attractive or high value. Like that's like what, a lot of these dating coaches talk about now is like get a high value partner or something like that. And what they're really talking about is having Venus in the first house overlay. Because that's one of the indications that both people feel like they have attracted someone valuable who is pleasing to their identity, right? Like, and it's, the house person's sense of identity, sense of self. They feel like the way that the Venus person loves is really life affirming to them. So this is a really energetic combination as well. Energetic in the sense of like confidence boosting. Another negative manifestation could potentially be like indulgence, right? Like when we have Venus coming into the first house, maybe the Venus person is constantly encouraging the house person, like, yeah, buy the dress, or yeah, take another selfie of yourself, or, there could be, they could get each other to indulge more in vanity or like materialistic pursuits, or even sensually. Like this could be an overlay where we're just so physical, we never leave the bed, and maybe we have to do other stuff and we put it off until tomorrow or something because we're just so in the senses. So yeah, that could happen. But generally when that happens in a relationship, people are not complaining because yeah, being physically attracted is definitely one component of a healthy relationship, right? So it's good to have this type of overlay. What else here? Yeah, it's definitely powerful. It's definitely one that creates that feeling of love at first sight. When we have first house overlays or ascendant synastry, it can create that feeling of love at first sight, specifically with Venus or Mars, sometimes Sun too, or Moon. Anything to the ascendant can really create that feeling of love at first sight. So because the first house and the ascendant is like our first response. So when we're having a first reaction to something, that's the first house. So for this, it's like our first reaction is we love them, like we feel comfortable. This is an open overlay too. Like we feel like we can be ourselves. The Venus person feels like they can easily love the house person and compliment them and give to them, and the house person feels like the Venus person just totally understands them and they don't have to put on an act or anything. So this is a really open, friendly overlay as well. So it can also indicate friendship. It doesn't have to just indicate all these sensual or physical things too. There is definitely an element of openness and friendship and just generally bringing out the best in each other. So yeah, this is a good one to have. I'd love to know your experience of this overlay. Was it like this? Definitely a love feeling comes with this one, and whether or not that actually indicates compatibility, you have to look at everything. But yeah, powerful overlay to have. So yeah, I'm continuing my Venus through the houses series. This is Venus in the first house. I'm also doing your requests. Let me know if you have any requests you'd like me to do. And I do offer one-on-one sessions. My links are below, and we'll talk soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.